Hi there, sweet friends. Thanks for joining me. I'm Tina Carini with Sponge and Stamp with Tina. So I have this adorable, beautiful card. Actually, I absolutely love this card. I had to share it with you on how I created it. It's so much fun. It's going to be so fun to give to somebody and they're going to really love it. So I wanted to share with you how I created it. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to put that aside. So what I used is the Notes and Totes bundle, which I am sure that you guys have seen probably 12.5 times. And I've been playing with this a lot, so all of my dies are disarray everywhere. But look at all these dies that you get in this bundle. Absolutely beautiful. So it's a lot of fun. It can be a little bit of work when you're building a card, or you can make it as simple as you want to. But with this card, we are going to be using several of these dies. I'm using this handle right here. You also get this handle choice if you'd like to use that, but I love this handle. So we'll use that handle. We use this seashell. We use this little pocket front. We use the fence and the purse scarf, the starfish, the glasses. You know, we used a lot on this one. The newspaper or the little book, which mine is actually a book in this card. We have our bottom and the straps for our purse. The purse itself and this little bottle of sunscreen or lotion, whatever you want to make it into. And then look at all these other dies that we still can be using. But this is a lot of dies for this card, but that is okay because it is absolutely adorable. So for videoing purposes, I've already die cut all of them, but I'll show you which ones go with which ones. And if you already have seen this 12.5 times, by all means, you can fast forward it through this part. But I just took some designer series paper. Excuse me. This paper is last year's in colors. This is Pretty in Pink. It is still on the last chance. The last I looked, it was. Got this side too, which is so pretty. But I thought this was so pretty and tropical, beachy, and that's what I wanted to use. There's all kinds of designer series papers out there that would make beautiful, or you could just use cardstock and stamp whatever you wanted to stamp, or leave it just plain. It is completely up to you. So like I said, this part here, this die cuts out these pieces right here. So we've got those cut out. Come on, go away. All right, so we're done with that one. Let me go ahead and open this back up so I can stick my dies in there as I go through it. This cuts out the fence, which I used the Country Woods designer series paper. I just thought that really gave a really beachy, fun vibe to it. So that's what I used to cut that out with. I've already started to assemble it just to make it a little faster. I use the opposite side of my designer series paper and just cut this part off from the pocket, and then we'll just do a little trimming around, and then that gives this part right here. So we've got that. Then I use this die in Pretty in Pink to cut out our lotion bottle or sunscreen. I also cut part of it in Calypso Coral for our lid. Oops, what did I drop? Oh, the most important part, the purse part. Then I did Petal Pink in the seashell and also in the starfish. So that's what I chose for those colors. And then I used the sunglasses and I cut the frames out in gold foil. And I cut, so this part right here is the frame part, and this part here is your lens part. I use Secret C for that. And then for our purse scarf, I just cut out in basic white, and we're going to do some stamping on that. And then, of course, for the for our little book right here. And I went ahead and already I was playing with it. I didn't exactly color it straight, but I just took a little dark pool party and just colored in this. There's a little raised part right there. And I thought that would give it a little bit more definition for our book. So we got our pocket, our lotions, our everything. So that's it. I'm pretty sure that is it. So now we have our card base, which is your basic card base. It is a half sheet of cardstock cut at 5.5, and then it's 8.5 inches long. We scored it at 4.25. Actually, I did not score this one at 4.25. So we're just going to go ahead and give it a nice little fold here. Bring in my bone folder. And there we go. So we're all ready for that. Then we have our layer. And this is 5.25 by 4. It's going to go on top of here after we put everything together. Then I have a piece of basic beige. So all we're going to do here is, actually, let me go ahead. I am going to trim off that. That's already tore. And I think I want about 1.5 inches, I think, somewhere around there. I might do it just a little bit longer. There we go. So that's going to go across here on the bottom of our card. But before we do that, we are going to do some sponging. Up here, I use Misty Moonlight for that. So we are going to bring in some Misty Moonlight. I also used basic beige for sand on our basic beige cardstock, which is, we're going to stamp on it, and then we're just going to put it right across the bottom. So I used this little sand or pebbles or little broken seashells, whatever you want to use that for, call it. We're going to use this image right here with the little hibiscuses. We're going to use this hibiscus. The sentiment that I'm using for the title of our book is So Grateful, a True Story. And we're going to use the sunshine. And I think that's it. All right, so let's go ahead and bring in some scrap paper. And I dropped my silicone mat, which we're going to be needing that when we start gluing things together. So we're just going to stamp some little sand speckles across our basic beige. You can put as little or as lot as you want. And then what I did on my card is I took a little bit of my Wink of Stella and just kind of dotted it along in there just to give the sand like a glistening look, because you know sometimes with sand is broken shells and coral and stuff, and sometimes that can be like a little shiny, and I didn't have to go all the way to the side because we're going to trim that off, but that's all right. I might have a use for it. We're going to put that aside because that's all done. So let's go ahead and get our sponging done. So we're going to use Misty Moonlight. I'm pretty sure that's what I used for my sky. So I'm just going to get some of that off of there, and I'm just going to start blending it. You can blend it as dark as you want. And I'm just swirling it around because I'm okay if I have darker patches and lighter patches because it's the sky, so it doesn't need to be one solid color. But I'm probably going to make it just a little bit darker just because I can. So there we go. So that's that. So now we're ready to do some more assembling of this card. All right, so we're gonna put this aside. Oh, I need to close this up too. We're gonna go ahead and adhere our sand to the bottom of our card layer here. Actually, I'm just gonna do just like this. There we go. And then I'm gonna put that, line that up the best that I can. I'm gonna flip that over and make sure that I got that even at the bottom. I could go up just a teensy tiny more, just like that. Now I'm going to give that a nice little trim right off to the side here, using the side of my cardstock as my guide. And there we go. All right. So isn't that so cute so far? All right. You're saying cute. It's just a little sponge blue background and sand, but you can see it coming together, right? So now let's bring in our silicone mat and our fence, because this is the next part that we need to put on our card. So I've already put these 3 on there, and I don't know if you've noticed or not, but when you die cut these out, they have 3 little holes on the tops and the bottoms of these fence posts. And I figured those were the nail spots, so that's where I put them on the back, the little, what do you call this part here? The little board. So then I trim that off, and then I have my bottom piece. So now we're going to flip this over, and I am going to put glue, if I can see where those little dots are. It's a little hard with this designer series paper to see the little dots, but I think they're right here. You may have an easier way to do this. By all means, use that. There we go. And then I am just going to line this up right there. And if my fence is crooked, I'm okay. It's a worn out beach weathered fence, correct? All right, so I am going to go ahead and trim that. So there is my fence, and it is going to go right here, just like so. And I think that that is going to be really pretty. So I'm lining up this little extra part that sticks out a little bit. I'm lining that up to the edge of my card. All right, you can pop this up if you want, which is what I did on my card, or you can glue it straight down. Just glue it flat, and I am going to use some little dimensionals here, and I'm going to put one on each end and one in the middle, and that should be enough. My fence is bowing out a little bit at the bottom, but I'm okay with that. I am not too worried about it. It's gonna all be pretty much covered up anyway. This is just a little something something. So we need to take off the backings to these. These fence posts, though, they are a little flimsy when you use the designer series paper, so you got to be careful. Using my take your pick tool, but I'm really rough with that, so I don't want to tear these fence posts. All right, so we're okay there. I also got a little bit of glue on my fingers, so it's wanting to stick to everything. All right, there we go. So now I am going to choose what side I want to be where. I'm going to stick this right about here. We're going to go there and right there. And there is our fence. Okay, so we're going to put this aside because now we're going to build our purse. So this is our purse. If you wanted to make this a 3D tree holder, you would just cut 2 of these out and assemble it, which I probably will be doing a video on that one too. but it's pretty basic. Okay, so I'm just gonna fold on all of these score lines that the dies pre-scored for us. So it makes it really simple and fun and easy. So we are going to do a little bit of trimming because I don't need this extra little tab right here for our purse. So I am going to go right up the score line right here at the bottom, right to where it's cut. We're just going to cut that piece off. Now what we're going to do is we are going to put our little leather, or I don't know what you call this, but the decorative parts of your purse, we're going to go ahead and put those on. And this is really easy because you just follow your lines. You don't want to go below your score line, so try not to do that. You can fold it so that you can see if you can squeeze it down just a little bit. Move it over a little bit, whatever you need to do. And I am okay with, oh, I do this every time and I tell myself, don't do this because we're going to try to salvage that. I'm going to go ahead and take this off. Let's use, I do it every time, and I always tell myself, don't forget, the straps go first, and I do it every time. So we're just going to take a little glue eraser here and get some of that off of there. Oh boy, I'm okay with that. Let's see here. Get a little bit of that off of there. All right, so we're going to put these on first. And what I do to make it easy is I fold that in, and then I just take my fine tip glue pen and I just go from the bottom or the top, however you want to do it. I can get it coming out, and I just put a nice little line of glue right beside that score line. And then I go ahead and I line this up at the bottom here where the score line is and up to the top. And that's all I do. And then I just make sure that it's scooched over enough. Scooched over. Vocabulary. Okay, there we go. I am pretty okay with that. It can scooch just a little bit. There we go. I'm going to do the same thing to this side over here. And now I really have a lot of glue on my fingers. It's all right. It'll be all right. We'll fix what we need to fix. That's for sure. All right, I am going to stick that right there. You may already have an easier way to do this. It does take a little bit of seconds for this glue to dry, but there we go. So I am okay. So I'm going to open this back up. I gotta get this glue off my fingers, you guys. Oh. All right, I'm okay with this little smudge mark right here because this is going to cover that. So we're going to salvage this piece. We're going to put glue all on that, make sure that it glues down well. And again, we're going to follow these lines, follow these score lines, just like that. I'm going to fold this in, and I am pretty okay with that. This is these side tabs here, these 1/4 inch ones, can just fold in like so. And that's pretty much how you're going to put it on your card front. All right, so let's go ahead. I'm going to put our pocket, but before, let's go ahead and I'm going to trim this just below the stitching on this little pocket top here. Just like that. We're going to put a little bit of glue. I'm just going to put it straight on here, like so. And we are going to just line this up. And we're going to put that to the side just to dry. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with this one. So there is a cut line right here. So you're just going to snip that right there and then right along there. We're going to put some glue on this right there. And we're going to line this up just like so, and it just gives it a little something something. So I'm super happy with that. Okay, then we're going to stamp on that when we bring out our stamping. This is going to get stamped on. This is not, this is not. So we have our little sunshades here that we're going to go ahead and put together. Now, if you have your adhesive sheets, I would probably cut these out using those because I think it would just be easier. I don't have them, so we're going to just dab a little bit of fine glue. If I can get it to come out. Just dab that along the sides. Right in the center. And then we're going to dab that. Let me see if I can't get a little tiny bit to come out again. There we go. And just dab that along. All right. And then we're just going to line this up the best that we can. Now I don't have a lot of glue on here, so this is not going to give me a lot of wiggle room, so I kind of got to get it right at the get-go. There we go. So there is our little glasses. Aren't those absolutely adorable? I forgot I did want to stamp on this. So we're going to use our little hibiscus and we're going to stamp our little hibiscus flowers here on our scarf. I'm going to move this bag out of the way. Where is my little handle? I'm missing a piece. I showed it to you guys, so I know that I have it. Well, for our card, here we go. Here's our handle right there. We cut that out. So let's go ahead and put our, nope, I want to wait until I put our pocket on there. All right, so I'm just going to use strawberry slush on here. Or do I want to do that? I think I'm going to, but I don't think I'm going to do the Wink of Stella on there. We're going to stamp our little flower right there. So that is ready to go. There we go. So see if you guys can see that. So cute. I actually stamped it upside down, but it's okay. I don't think it really matters, but we're going to stamp our little purse scarf using these little flowers here. I know there was a way that I did it yesterday that gave me good coverage on our scarf. Did I do it? Nope. I did it like this. I'm pretty sure. We're going for it. Okay, I missed it. But anyway, there we go. So there is our scarf stamped in Strawberry Slush, which are the colors that we're using in our purse. Is Pretty in Pink and Strawberry and Slush. So all the trim and the handle in this is all Strawberry Slush. The rest of it is Pretty in Pink. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and start assembling this. Now, when I try not to glue the top part down, maybe just up the side a little bit, just in case I might want to tuck something down in there. If you need more room to tuck something down, then just go around the edges of your pocket, but I don't think that I'm putting anything in there. So I'm okay with that. Then we're going to put our handles. So we're going to put some glue right there and right there. And then we're going to line up our handle right about there. Everything is sticking to me. And then we're going to put a little bit of glue right here, because that is where I'm going to put my purse scarf for our little beach bag. Then I'm going to bring in some little dimensionals, and I am going to put a dimensional on the back of each of these hearts, like so. Excuse me. And then I am going to pretend that it is clipped up like so. And then there we go. Isn't that just absolutely adorable? Oh, I love it so much. We're going to stamp our sun on our lotion bottle, and we're going to stamp our sentiment on our book title. So let me see here. I want So Grateful, A True Story. We're going to stamp that in Secret Sea, one of our wonderful new in colors. I absolutely love the Secret Sea. So Grateful. Just like that. You can have it to where the person can slide it in and out. You can put a little message there if you want to, but I'm not going to. I'm going to glue mine down. And we're going to bring in a little bit of Calypso Coral, and we're going to use the sun stamp. And I'm only going to come in about halfway. Just like that. And there's our little sun lotion. Now I am bringing in a little tiny stamp from another stamp set, Sunrise Sailing, for this little seagull right here. So we're going to bring that in, and we're going to stamp that in Secret Sea as well. So let's go ahead and take that off. I gotta be careful. I get ink all over me. How many of you guys are a messy stamper? Because I know for sure that I am. Now it is time to put this girl together here. So I am going to go ahead. I'm going to use this glue and put our white layer, which isn't white anymore, onto our card front as evenly as I can. All right, there we go. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead and slip this in here, probably about like that. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue right in here to hold that down, just like that. How cute. We're going to take the handle and slip it over the fence. Well, before we do that, we got to put some dimensionals because I want this to be popped up. So we're going to put some dimensionals on here just to pop it up a little. I am going to put a little bit of glue down here, a little bit of glue down the sides here. All right, we're going to take these off. I'm just slinging them all over the place. I find them everywhere in my house. All right, so now we're going to carefully slip this handle right over this fence post here, just like so. And then we're going to place where we want our purse to go. And I am okay with that. Just like that. All right, then we're going to place, well, this shell, can't get my words out. Did you hear me? Shell. Okay, so it's got slits in it, so it like raises up. So I want to put a little tiny glue dot or dimensional right in the center of that. So I am going to take one of these little tiny ones. I'm actually going to cut one in half, I think. I think that will work. I didn't really, probably would have been just fine to put a whole one, but I just wanted a half of one. All right, or a little piece of one. And I'm just going to stick it right like so. And then I'm going to take that back off. I'm going to stick that right there. I do want a little bit of glue on the bottom of this, which I should have done before I put it down to begin with, right? That's okay. All right, there we go. So the last thing we need to do is to, I wish I would have made that go as a little bit more of a slant. That's all right. We need to bring back in our secret C and our little seagull here. And I am just gonna stamp. Probably should have done this first, just in case you had a little goof up, but I'm okay with that. All right, there we go. Isn't that absolutely adorable? So it's so stinking easy to do. So I should have, which I do not, and I did it again too. I forgot. I wanted to, so I'll just show you guys. So this is the inside of our card. I'm not going to try to stamp this side because I really wanted it to come over more here, but this was an afterthought and I forgot to stamp that before we got started. But, you know, hey, it is what it is. So we have an extra piece right here that's going to go here. This is a little bit smaller, but it's okay. So we're going to take that same piece here. I'm going to do, it's about an inch or so. So I'm going to do it a little more than an inch because we're going to tear off the bottom or the top. I'm going to tear it pulling towards me to give that torn look. Okay, there we go. And then we're going to stamp the sand on here with our basic beige and the little stamp image, the little sand image, which is right here. And we're just going to stamp just a little bit here. There. All right, that's good. And if you want to, again, you can use your Wink of Stella to carry that on through from the outside to the inside, just to give it a little bit of shimmer. It doesn't need a whole lot, just a little bit. You can put as much or as little as you want. And then we're going to go ahead and adhere this to the bottom. So I'm going to take my glue and go along the bottom like so. And take this, line this up. I think I'm pretty good there. And pull that down just a little bit. There we go. All right, and then we're going to trim this off the same way we did the front side, using the side of our card as our guide. All right, and then we're just going to go ahead and put our glue bottle down and our glue bottle, our suntan lotion, and our little starfish. I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive on that. I want that to come over just a little bit. Then we're going to put some adhesive on, some glue on this too. All right, and I'm going to do that at an angle, just like so. And there we go. And then we're going to stamp sending warm wishes, which I should still have out here. I do. We're going to bring in some Secret C. It really does bother me that I forgot. Oh, wait. Yeah, I did put that on there already. Darn it. I'm going to stamp it up to the top so that it gives me a little bit of writing room. And there we go. Then we just have to put this on the inside of our card, and we're done. Oh, no, we have one last thing to do. We need to stamp our envelope. That's going to be easy to do. All right, so I am choosing to stamp the flap of our inner envelope. I may even put, because I love hibiscus so much, I think I'm going to stamp our hibiscus. Ooh, that's very juicy. Let's see if I can scoot some of that out of the way there. Okay. Let's try that again. I can just do a hibiscus right here, like so. There we go. And then on the back, I want to take our scrap paper here, and I am going to fold this up like that so that I don't get it on my card anywhere, or on my envelope anywhere except for where I want. And I need to take another scrap for behind it. Then we're going to take this piece right here that we stamped on our on our purse scarf, and I'm just going to go right across the top, and then we can go, felt my finger go right in that ink. I can do the bottom part too, just like so. Oops, I didn't stamp that very well. That's all right. And then there we go. And then there is our envelope. So how pretty is that? That matches our card, coordinates nicely with it. So you have your hibiscus in the front, you have your little hibiscuses in the back, and where's our card? Here it is. Ink on my fingers, don't want to get it on my card. So there you go. So I hope that you guys like this. I hope you give it a try. If you do not have this set, I really do hope that you get it. And whoever your demonstrator is, you'll purchase it from her, unless you're a demonstrator, and then you purchase it from yourself. But anyway, it's so much fun. So much fun, and I can't wait to come out with more things and share with you guys that I create using this stamp set. If you're looking for a demonstrator, I would love to be your demonstrator. Just give me a shout out, just message me. If you would like to have one of the new catalogs, let me know, and I'll get with you and get one out to you. Also, if you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel, I hope that you do. Just hit that subscribe button and be a part of my stamping community here on YouTube. Follow me on Facebook under Sponge and Stamp with Tina. And oh yeah, we're looking to build our team as well. And there is a wonderful starter kit special for $99. You get to choose $165 worth of product. Plus tax, and shipping is free. So if you need any help with that, just reach out to me. I would love to have you on our team, and I will I don't think I forgot anything. So I will see you next time. Bye, you guys. Thanks for joining me.